With that, we can move on to the next presentation. The LNG terminal in Klaipėda is the next key point on the map of regional energy security. Information on the terminal's operation will be presented by Mr. Nerijus Strazdaukas, Head of Logistics at KN Energy. Please, sir, please join us to the stage. Thank you.
Yes, so hello everyone. Honor to be here, and thanks Gas System for invitation. We understand that we are guests from North, so nice to be here. So what we do, we are KN Energy Group. We operate LNG terminals globally. You know Klaipėda. We do operations in Germany. I will explain a little bit later. I see that it's broken slides, but okay. So we do other cargo transshipments. We operate a terminal in Klaipėda, Subačius, and Marijampolė, where we hold other oil product and we do loadings. We also are investor in LNG projects and participating in operating the terminals. We are also developing some projects like carbon capture, energy storages, and we are true partners. So here is an example what we do recently. So we own and operate two terminals in Klaipėda, large scale and small scale. We provide a consultation. Do you hear me? We provide consultation for other terminals. The last one was in Piombino in Italy, where we consult on being part of the representatives in commissioning. We do commissioning in Cartagena. You see another European terminal in Croatia, where we set all the regulations of using the terminal. And we are also doing some activities abroad. So we operate terminal in Brazil, which is gas to power terminal. And we operate commercially all the state-owned companies in Germany. So now about the Klaipėda. So in Klaipėda, we provide three main services. First of all, it's regasification, which was primarily purpose of the terminal. So we started in 2015, and this consists of regasification and service that we regasify gas into the grid. Then after we found a market for the loadings to bunker vessels, small-scale vessels, and we do the separation since 2017. And the latest news is that this summer we started virtual biomethane liquefaction, and we provide the services. Unfortunately, we not yet had this, but the market adopting this new opportunity, and in upcoming months we will plan to have the first operation. So that's why the biomethane plants demand is growing up, and then the clients could supply marine industry with bio-LNG. So we are a multi-user terminal. Let's say a few years ago, we allocated long-term capacities for 6 capacity holders. One of that company is Orlen. And they hold 33 terawatt hours annual capacity till 2033. So in addition to that, we plan to offer to the market, or still offering to the market, 4 spot cargos annually. So, and 2 years ago, we also proposed long-term capacities for a period starting from 2033. So 4 terawatt-hours annually was booked until the end of the until 2044. As you may know, that KN acquired FSRU Independence last year, so Lithuania now owns this vessel, and we're securing the operations till 2044. We are fully booked, let's say, until 2033, but we offer some spot capacities on the annual basis. In the near future, we plan to propose long-term capacity starting from 2033. So roughly speaking, about 29 terawatt-hours will be proposed to the market to book. Of course, we are looking for some savings to our customer, and we now running the FSRU electrification project. But it means that we connect onshore cabling with FSRU. This allows us to cut the CO2 emissions and increase the efficiency of boil of gas usage. So we plan to end this project by 2028. Yeah, and we've been an energy island before. Lithuania, until the terminal was deployed, was used gas from Russia. Then in 2022, the terminal was only single supplier to the region, of course, with the pipeline from Russia. And what happened next? So there was additional terminals was built. Inkoo terminal in Finland, interconnection point, GIPL was developed, and now we have 4 strong pillars for gas supply into the region. So it's in Šiaulių underground storage, Klaipėda, Santaka interconnection point, and Inkoo with Baltic connector. So for instance, last year the consumption in the region, including Poland and Estonia, was about 25 BCMs. Meanwhile, the capacity of LNG terminal was only 60 BCM. So it means that it's 33% less than our demand. But of course, Baltic pipe, it covers this, let's say, shortage. And new terminal that Poland will build also increase security of supply to the Baltic region. So within this 8 months period, the terminal of Klaipėda is utilized 62%. So in comparison to the average European Union terminals, it's 52%. We expect that at the end of the year, and we already know that we will reach 70% of our utilization, taking in mind that several cargo was canceled and not delivered this year. So, of course, this is caused by the market because there wasn't a winter-summer spread. So the terminal was very fully booked from 2022 when the war started. I understand that we have congestion on the capacities. At that time, I was thinking to increase the capacities because everyone was keen to get the capacities, but it was restricted. So you can see in the slide that year 22, 23, we reached record utilization. Then in 2024, the utilization was decreased slightly, and it was driven, let's say, by full storages that was supplied before, 1 year before. And this year, even with these canceled cargos, we see that we reached 70% or 31 terawatt hours of the utilization. So here is a slide to show what's the cargo origins we have in Klaipėda, and main supplier origins are Norwegian and US. It's not driven that that US cargo is increasing. It's, let's say, we have the main supplier from Norway who take, let's say, the lead of supplying our customers. But as you know, the Norwegian this liquefaction plant has many outages, and they will, let's say, having this, they substitute the cargos from US. That's why you can see increase in US cargos this year. We also, it's nonsense, but we also have been receiving cargos from Russia till 2022, and it was banned since the war started. So I mentioned that we will offer several spot cargos, and this year we delivered a few cargos, or our customer delivered a few cargos to Ukraine. And I would like to show that, let's say, everybody question us whether it's competitive or not. So if you see our investigation, we are, let's say, transmission tariff, including terminal tariff, it's competitive. And 2 cargos was delivered. So it means that we still have spare capacities to deliver more cargos in that direction. Of course, it's an example, Ukraine, but it can be, let's say, South Europe and etc. And of course, some of the capacities, this grid capacities tariff increase next year, but let's say it's increasing from 1 to 28% will within Europe. Yeah, so, and here's exact slots that we keen to offer this end of this year. It's, split it into within the year, and there is 2 cargos, let's say, in the summer, another and the remaining, it's spring-winter period. So we offer this as an annual capacity for the 2026, and foreseen that every year, let's say that this spot time duration of the usage and the deliveries will be almost in the same months. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Strondauskas, for that insightful presentation. Let's now take some time for discussion. Please feel free to raise any questions, and please use microphones. If we have any questions, once more, thank you for your presence today and this presentation. Ačiū. Teraz płynnie przejdziemy do krajowego.